All right, well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast. Today we're joined by Mr. Brad Connors, and today we're talking about big picture life guiding principles.
Big picture, huh?
Big picture. And in particular, when you're making decisions about money, right?
Yeah.
And that you're coaching some of your clients through, what are some of the guiding principles that you're using as you coach these guys through there?
Yeah, big question, Matt.
It is. It's a hard question.
Well, it kind of takes me back to biblically, like, money being evil and things like that. And it's not,
the root of all evil.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. People are evil. Money can be used to do good things too, But I guess when it comes to making decisions around money, especially when you're talking to, people in their teens and 20s and 30s that are getting out of college and getting their job and things, it's really around interest and borrowing money more than anything. I see people make bad decisions around borrowing more than I see them make bad decisions around investing. Does that make sense?
Yep. So just going into debt as a general rule of thumb.
Yeah. I mean, you borrow 10 grand on a credit card, it's 19% today on that credit card, but you have your money sitting in your savings account getting 2% instead of investing and getting 8%. That's a mistake too. But the biggest sin is having the 19% that somebody else is winning by charging you in on their credit card. So I guess when I think about money decisions, the first thing that comes to mind is like borrowing money. What are you paying? And sometimes you have to. If you're going to buy a house, let's say, you might have to borrow some money. Hopefully you got a good down payment and things like that. You just want to make sure that you're paying attention to the interest rate. Can you pay it off fast? Those type of things. So that's the number one thing that comes to mind with money. The second thing is when you finally have money. Okay. Let's say you don't have debt and you have money, then it's being intentional to put the money where your intentions are. Okay. And what I mean by that is risk and where it's going to get spent. So, if you're going to have a travel fund that you're going to use, and you're going to use it every year, you're probably going to have that invested in a money market account or a bank or something like that. That's very safe because you're going to use it. If you have money set aside to pay for college education that's 15 years from now, you should be more intentional and take more risk with it to get a better return. Okay. So principles around money to me apply to the risk and to when you're going to use that bucket of money per se.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like it. When it comes to risk, I always think like there's something to be said between, the credit card part of it versus investing it. Well, you make a couple of percent when you invest it, and then versus you lose a bunch of percent, when you do it on credit card. And that in and of itself, that little difference is the strategic advantage in life, right? The strategic advantage in life is held between, that tiny little envelope. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, and I think you're talking about, in my mind, arbitrage came up. So the difference between, so right now I have clients that'll have, they'll have money set aside that is in a bank account earning 5%, let's say. But their mortgage they took out 5 years ago is at 3%. Yep. The bank's now paying 5%, or their investments are getting 7%. So it's like, should I take my money out of the bank and pay my mortgage off that's at 3%? They finally on the right side of that arbitrage. Now, some people would say, yeah, you just get rid of debt and quit servicing debt and being done with it. But the flip side is what you talked about. If you have $10,000 sitting in a bank account getting 2%, and you have $20,000 on a credit card that you're paying someone else 19%, get rid of the bank account, right? Yeah. Pay that debt down.
Be done with it.
Figure out, yeah. So money principles around that is you just need to be smart when it comes to interest and try to do the right thing with your money. But the largest sin I see is debt.
Largest sin. There you go. All right. Well, we will see you back here. Anything else you want to say about big guiding principles?
No, it's a big topic, but it's super important for people.
There you go. We'll see you back here next time on the iWealth podcast.